Have you ever truly wondered, is time something that actually passes? Or are we simply walking step by step through what has already happened? Is destiny really an unchangeable fate? Or with every choice we make, are we merely revealing what already exists? Throughout this video, we will explore these two great mysteries that humanity has tried to understand for thousands of years: the structure of time and the nature of destiny. We'll examine them through the eyes of one of the greatest minds in Islamic thought, Ibn Arabi. But this is not just an information transfer. We are about to open the doors to a vast system operating behind the scenes of the life you're living. Together, we will discover that time is not a straight line, and that destiny is not a punishment, but a much higher level of consciousness. According to Ibn Arabi, what you call the past is still there, what you call the future has already happened, and you, in this endless cycle, are both the actor and the audience. Once you encounter this perspective, you can never look at anything the same way again. Something begins to shift in your mind. So if you're here, perhaps you've already heard this call to transformation. Now I want to ask you a question. Are you ready for a truth greater than what you thought you were? If your answer is yes, then let's pull back the curtain of time together and discover the secret hidden behind destiny. Step by step, time is one of the most familiar yet most mysterious concepts in human history. In daily life, we measure it with minutes, hours, and days. Sometimes we chase after it. Sometimes we wish it would stop. But according to Ibn Arabi, what we call time is merely a reflection of a truth hidden behind the visible. He sees time not as a fixed reality, but as a veil created by our limited perception. The only thing that truly exists is the present moment, because what we call the past is now just a memory. The future is merely an imagination wandering in our minds. But the present moment contains the traces of the past and holds the seeds of the future within it. Ibn Arabi expresses this in a striking way. Time is the shadow of God's power. In other words, time itself is nothing but the sequential unfolding of God's actions. When we think from this perspective, the moment you say has passed still exists in divine knowledge, and the future you think hasn't happened yet has already been lived in God's knowledge. You don't live time, you perceive time. Because time is like a veil drawn over reality. When that veil is lifted, only the truth remains. This is why, according to Ibn Arabi, time as we understand it belongs only to the material realm as a recording system. But in the realm of meaning, in God's presence, there is no such thing as time. Timelessness reigns there. This is why the Quran states, every day He is bringing about a matter. Because for God, moments are not connected to each other. Each moment is a completely new creation in itself. This thought takes us to a much deeper place. When we grasp the secret behind time, the truth of destiny slowly begins to reveal itself. When you truly begin to understand time and destiny, you realize that life is not merely a chain of external events. Behind everything, there is an order that is invisible but can be felt. And this order is supported not only by religious texts, but also by some experiments in modern science. Particularly, experiments in quantum physics offer remarkable parallels to the truths Ibn Arabi expressed centuries ago. One of these is the double-slit experiment. To summarize briefly, in this experiment, a particle, such as an electron, is sent toward a surface. There are two slits in between. When whether the particles pass through these slits is not observed, the electrons create interference patterns. They'd behave as if they were waves and pass through both slits simultaneously. But when you perform the same experiment while observing with a measuring device, the electron passes through only one slit and behaves like a particle, not a wave. In other words, simply observing changes the outcome of the event. Without observation, possibilities coexist. With observation, only one becomes real. At exactly this point, Ibn Arabi's words echo. You perceive time, you don't live it. Because the double-slit experiment shows us this. What we call reality takes shape according to how you look at it. Time is the same. You perceive it as a straight line because your perception allows only that. Yet time is an ocean of possibilities. And with your consciousness, one of those possibilities transforms into reality. Just like how a moment becomes real only when you become aware of it. Ibn Arabi's approach to this matter states that time is not just something that flows, but simultaneously a state of consciousness in the process of becoming. According to him, we are not subjected to time. Time is shaped together with us. For this reason, time is not just a physical flow, it is a spiritual awareness. And the deeper this awareness becomes, the more conscious steps we can take within what we call destiny. Returning to the double-slit experiment, the fundamental idea there is this: the particle is in a potential state before being observed, but when observation begins, the potential collapses and a single reality emerges. The same applies to human life. The future exists in God's knowledge with all its potentials. But when you make a choice, one of those potentials becomes real. Behind this choice is your will. However, this will operate within a divine system. This is where we understand that destiny and free will do not contradict each other. Rather, they are parts of a whole. According to Ibn Arabi, while a person walks within time, they are also in contact with the divine truth that exists outside of time. This contact occurs through consciousness. When an event happens, the moment you begin to notice not just its external aspect, but the meaning behind it, you no longer experience that event as a prisoner of fate. Instead, you begin to decode the divine message opening up to you within that event. Time and destiny are no longer a system ruling over you. They become the map of your inner journey. This is why Ibn Arabi places special importance on the concept of the present moment. According to him, the present moment carries the traces of the past and holds the seeds of the future within it. And whenever you truly exist in the now, that is when you experience God's manifestation, because God is engaged in new creation at every moment. This creation is a divine touch that reveals itself in your consciousness. Therefore, time is not a mechanism operating outside of you. It is your inner mirror, and destiny is the reflection you see in that mirror. As understanding of time's nature deepens, the concept of destiny also ceases to be merely a predetermined fate, because when you comprehend time, not as a straight line but as an infinite circle, the question of whether every event you experience belongs to a pre-written script changes its meaning. Ibn Arabi offers a striking insight on this matter. In God's knowledge, what has happened and what will happen are one, but this knowledge does not cancel your choices, because His knowledge is outside of time. Your experience is within time. To grasp this difference, let's use a mental metaphor. Imagine you are at the peak of a high mountain and can see a long road passing through the valley below. The beginning, middle, and end of the road are all before your eyes, but someone walking on that road can only see their next step. For the one looking from the peak, everything is simultaneous, but for the one walking, time progresses step by step. According to Ibn Arabi, God's knowledge is like that of the one looking from the peak. The human is the one walking on the road. God knows everything, but this knowledge does not eliminate human free will. This also shows similarity with modern physics block universe theory. According to this theory, the universe exists as a single whole with its past, present, and future together. Time may not be flowing as we perceive it. Instead, we may be experiencing different points of it as we pass through time. This view is quite close to Ibn Arabi's understanding of the timeless state. According to him, time is a veil formed by God's power, and this veil can only be parted through consciousness. This is exactly where the matter of destiny comes into play. If everything is written, why do we live? Why do we suffer? Why do we struggle? Ibn Arabi approaches these questions without evasion. According to him, destiny is the prior knowledge and God's knowledge of what has happened. But this knowledge does not make your choices mandatory, because knowledge follows the known. In other words, it's not that something happens because God knows it will happen. God knows it because it will happen. This difference transforms surrender to destiny from passivity into something else entirely. To understand better, consider this example from Ibn Arabi. If a teacher knows their students in the classroom, they can also predict who will struggle with which question. But this prediction does not determine the answer the student gives on the exam. The student solves the exam with their own will. The teacher's knowledge does not eliminate the student's freedom. In the same way, God knows His servants and knows what they will choose. But this knowledge does not cancel the servant's responsibility. At this point, Ibn Arabi establishes a deep connection between the servant and God. He says, the servant wills and God wills, but the servant's willing occurs through God's willing. Although this sentence seems contradictory at first glance, it actually contains tremendous unity. Human will is real but limited. God is unlimited, and everything is encompassed in His knowledge. This is why destiny is not an imposition. It is a level of consciousness. Whatever consciousness you are at, you experience destiny at that level. Your choices appear free on the surface, but they carry you into the divine plan. This doesn't make the person a puppet. On the contrary, It makes them a partner in wisdom, because you don't just walk toward what has been written. You also become aware of the meaning within what has been written. When you touch that meaning, destiny becomes not a chain but a ladder. With each choice, you rise a little higher. With each experience, you awaken a little more, because destiny is what has been written. But that writing comes alive with your awareness. This is why Ibn Arabi defines surrender to destiny not as helplessness, but as a state of awakening. Surrendering to your destiny doesn't mean submitting to everything. It means accepting what happens with wisdom by understanding it, because everything that happens to you doesn't come just to happen to you. It comes to teach you something. And when you receive that message, destiny no longer spins you around. You transform within destiny. Now when you begin to see time not as a line but as a field expanding with consciousness, destiny also begins to take a new place in your mind, because time is not just a movement progressing in clocks and calendars. It is a divine invitation touching us with the potentials it carries in every moment. And destiny is not just events that happen to us. It is a call to awareness directed at us through those events. Ibn Arabi explains this call through the concept of divine manifestation. God is engaged in new creation at every moment. This is not just physical change, but also a transformation occurring in consciousness. Whenever you truly remain in the present, you make contact with the meaning God created for that moment. This is why, unless you drop the burden of the past from your shoulders, unless you silence the fear of the future in your mind, it becomes difficult to hear the manifestation of this moment. The mind constantly carries the past, thinks about the future, but truth is only in the present, because only this moment is the moment God is speaking to you. The past is now just an interpretation for you. The future is an expectation, but the present is only the present. And when you live that moment with consciousness, you stop fighting with destiny and align with it. At that moment, destiny begins to take shape, not outside you but within you. So how does one live with this awareness? First of all, we need to understand what surrender is not. Surrender is not passivity. It is not accepting everything that happens without questioning. Surrender is living with the knowledge that behind every event there is a meaning wanting to touch you. This is not passivity. It is an active state of understanding, because everything that happens occurs not just because it happened, but to establish a connection with you. When you notice that connection, destiny ceases to be a chain and transforms into a ladder, and you climb that ladder with consciousness. This is not something that will happen suddenly, but it begins with intention. Every moment you intend is an opportunity for God to draw closer to you, and that drawing near transforms time itself. Now you begin to direct time. You become not the victim of events, but their witness. Not the prisoner of destiny, but a traveler who has decoded its cipher. Remember, you are not just living what has happened. As you live, you realize that everything is as it should be, in the place it should be. And that realization begins with your intention. Perhaps you thought you came across this video by coincidence, but let's say it in Ibn Arabi's language. Nothing is coincidence. Everything happens at exactly the right time. Perhaps this video was sent for you to transcend your own time, to make peace with destiny, and to remember the truth within you. Now take a deep breath and know that you are no longer on the trail of time. You are on the trail of truth. There is one final truth Ibn Arabi wants us to understand. The relationship between destiny and consciousness is not merely philosophical. It carries psychological depth as well, because according to him, destiny is not a fate imposed from outside. It is a path synchronized with the person's own level of consciousness. At this point, one of the most important concepts we encounter is a perception of destiny, shaped by a person's intention. How you approach events is how events approach you. And this interaction forms that delicate balance between God's knowledge and human will. Your intention matters. Your awareness matters. Your consciousness matters. Two people can experience the exact same event. For one, it becomes a disaster. For another, it becomes a doorway to awakening. This has less to do with the events themselves and more to do with the meaning assigned to them. And that meaning is shaped by your awareness. It is possible to walk within time, while being equipped with the knowledge of timelessness, and this equipment allows you to progress by harmonizing with destiny rather than conflicting with it. Then destiny becomes not writing on paper, but an echo in your heart. It is not fate, it is a journey, and with every step of that journey, a piece of knowledge in God's wisdom is revealed. Ibn Arabi reminds us that we are not separate from this cosmic dance. We are participants in it. Every breath, every choice, Every moment of awareness is our contribution to the eternal unfolding of divine truth. When you finally understand this, fear dissolves, anxiety loses its grip, because you realize that you were never alone in this journey. You were always held, always guided, always exactly where you needed to be. This is the ultimate secret of time and destiny. Not that they control you, but that you dance with them. Not that they imprison you, but that they invite you to freedom. The freedom to see beyond the veil. The freedom to live with purpose. The freedom to transform every moment into a meeting with the divine. Now take a deep breath, and know that you are no longer on the trail of time. You are on the trail of truth.